first we need to do the ritual of all politics streams these days. We need to take a look at 538, right? Uh, Polling at this point is largely going to be indicative to some extent of how both the early voting and the in-person voting are going to turn out. So I think the closer we are to the election, the more accurate our data tends to be. So let's take a look at the aggregate polling real quick. And as you can see, unfortunately, I did not get the gift I was wishing for today. Donald Trump is still at 10%. He has not dropped down to 9%. I was really hoping for a single digit just to satisfy my lizard monkey brain. And also, unfortunately, Joe Biden dropped below 90. As you can see, there's like one toss-up race in here. But we'll see how it turns out, okay? Overall, we're not seeing a massive swing in favor of Trump. We're not seeing a massive downturn from Biden. I think these are all very good indicators of where we're heading. Oh, dang, Youth, do you have a screenshot of that you can send me? Do you have a screenshot you can send me of the 9? I just want to see it, okay? I want to be able to taste it with my mouth. Okay. Well, wishful thinking. Let's take a look real quick at the Senate forecast. Now, the Senate forecast, we don't have as rosy of news, by the way. We have, we're 74 to 26. So Republicans have gained not insignificant amount of footing in these in the likelihood of battles. Democrats have dropped about 3%. Not great, but 74% chance is a still pretty good shot of flipping the Senate. It's no 77, it's no 80%, but 74 at this point. Clap your hands on those butt cheeks, people, and buckle yourself in. We're in for a ride. And also, Republicans gaining a percentage point in the House race, which I'm going to admit I was not expecting to see. So, good job on the campaign trail, Republicans, I guess. Can you post a link as a mod? You can post a link as a mod. I voted. It's over. I did it. Like broccoli and doing the dishes. So if Biden wins Texas by 1 vote, you are welcome. Hell yeah, comrade. I know. I didn't. Okay, so for people who aren't like familiar with me, I've only recently started streaming politics, like a month ago ish, and prior to that, I was super doomer after Bernie got knocked out of the race, and it took me some recovery time, I guess. I was one of those Bernie busters, right? So I think to an extent that's largely why I'm so frustrated with Bernie busters, because it's kind of like arguing with a past version of myself that doesn't have the capacity to like change their mind. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that is a screenshot of a Trump 9% victory. Here, I'll put it on the big screen here. Look at that. From Hutch. Handsome Hutch. Yeah, that is a Trump at 9% chance. This makes my heart happy. Thank you for sending me this. Do you already know what happened in Vienna? I heard briefly on the news. I don't know the details about this. We don't need to doom this early. I feel pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, here's the thing. I was super doom and gloom about Biden, but I think I needed to readjust my expectations, because here's the truth that a lot of Bernie busters don't really want to accept about a Bernie presidency. It wouldn't have been good enough. A Bernie presidency for lefties would not have been good enough. It's true. We have the exact same role in a Biden presidency as we do in a Bernie presidency. Our job is to vote for the best candidate in the election to get the best, most favorable outcome. But our work doesn't end when the election ends. Our work is just starting. You know, after whoever's elected is elected, then we have to keep going with the hard work on the ground of pushing for the the conditions that can allow for a better world to rise up. Also, renderless, I totally understand the skepticism towards polling. However, I would say that the reason I tend to defer to 538 tends to be because it's not just this isn't just one poll, right? So like this is an aggregate of all of the polling. So I would just say that, like, in terms of trustworthiness, 538 probably pretty up there. Rather than trusting like one poll you see, they're taking everything. Just saying this type of pools are super good for Trump because pro-Trump supporters will get scary and going to vote instead of Biden supporters can have more chill behavior. This is dangerous in America because we get more voters wins the states. Yeah. So that is one of the dangers going forward. And we're actually going to talk about this a little bit coming up. So here, I was looking for the clip. I think someone sent it to me yesterday. Might have been you, Ashley. Oh, I think you sent it to me in a tweet. Let me see. Twitter. I don't want you. Let's see here. We gotta find this tweet, okay? Yes, here we go. So here is a news story when we're talking about voter intimidation and intimidation at the polls. Here's a definite reason for us to be worried about this kind of stuff. And I know a lot of people, also hello, Archangel Decab. I know a lot of people keep saying, like, it's hyperbolic to call Trump a fascist. It's, the Republican Party, conservatives, they're not fascist. They're not falling in line behind a fascist, blah, 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 blah. This is Trump telling the FBI that a caravan of Trump supporters who surrounded a bus in Texas are just good patriots. They surrounded the bus with their cars. They hit one of the staffers' cars to try and drive it off the road. And they've been doing these Trump caravans have been doing this across the country. They took over a bridge in New York and shut it down. There was a case where they were blocking a road. There's another case where, like, a group of, like, militia people in I think it was Oregon. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but whatever. Like, had blocked off a voting drop-off point and were intimidating people with guns to stay away from it. We have all of these stories coming out from around the country. So I implore you, if you are voting tomorrow, please be careful out there, okay? Because things could get pretty crazy real fast tomorrow. And I would encourage people to use their best judgment and do what you need to do to keep yourselves safe, okay? Just watched a few Trump rallies online. He's definitely a fascist. He is already setting his fanatics up to riot if he loses by constantly suggesting that the Democrats can only win by cheating. Speedbrain, oh yeah, he's been laying the groundwork for this for literally months now. Like, ever since he started talking about how there's rampant voter fraud in mail-in voting, which, by the way, no evidence suggests that voter fraud is a major problem in this country, like mail-in ballots or no. An aggregate of bad information still gives bad information. If Biden believed the polls at 538, why is he in Wisconsin when he's up 90-10 according to Silver? Well, again, the information in the polling is aggregate data, and also it's not, I didn't go into detail on individual state races, so it's very possible that Biden's on the cusp of winning or losing Wisconsin. So, obviously they're going to be using their own internal data, but as far as what's available to us, this is the best data available to me. Do you have a better data source for this render list? If so, I would love to see it. You can send a link to one of my mods, I can check it out, and we can talk about it on stream. Otherwise, I don't really care if you're talking about, like, I feel like Trump is doing better, because I can't come to any conclusions based off of what you feel, how you feel Trump is doing, Let's see. Basically, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Florida will be the must-win for both. You're for socialism? Hell yeah, I am, comrade. Julian Gars, I am a market socialist. Also, Julian, would you like to call in? We can have a discussion about it. I don't know if I can't make any guarantees of changing your mind, but you can make your case for Trump, and I can make my case for socialism, I guess. Open offer to you. Yeah, I can pull you in for a call. It'd be a good time, I think. On what? Well, you said two things that seemed to kind of go together, so like seemed like you wanted to talk about how Trump was a better candidate, or we could talk about socialism. Either of those two would be fun for me. I like talking about this stuff. Oh, call on Discord. Do you have Discord? Yeah, Youth, I think there was some carryover from last night. I actually can't believe Biden got the vote for the Democratic Party when he was one of the least progressive candidates in the Democratic primaries. Yeah, the B-mans, there was definitely some political... You've never heard of Discord before, my dude. Okay. Well, if you want, you can try downloading it. You can try downloading it. It's a relatively easy thing to use and set up. So if you want to figure that out, you're more than welcome to come on and defend your position. Otherwise, okay. I'm even willing. I'll put a link to discord.com. You can try downloading it if you'd like. Okay, friend. Otherwise, it's totally fine if you're not cool to come on. I understand. Here you go. But anyway. So, the, Trump will lose again the popular vote, but he'll probably win. The system needs to change. See, I'm not that convinced that he's gonna win. Oh, yeah. Youth, last night we got raided by Echo Mediaplex, who brought in like 350 people to come watch a late night politics panel. It was pretty based and epic. Also, because you're asleep, you might not know, but we have the rage emote now. So you can express your displeasure with me and my points. Yeah, El Shakala, I was actually just going to bring that up. Trump blocked bridge. Let's just take a look at the stuff going on here. Yeah, here we go. So, hundreds of vehicles flying Trump, MAGA, and American flags caused delays around the New York metropolitan area on Sunday after they were seen stopping traffic to cheer and chant. Do we have footage here? Oh,
Trump supporters in several cities tonight using caravans to intentionally stop traffic, shutting down major arteries. Video of one incident outside New York City shows dozens of cars bearing Trump and pro-police flags shutting down a vital bridge. A similar incident today in New Jersey. Several hundred vehicles stopping there on the roadway, the Garden State Parkway, and blocking traffic for 5 miles. It comes just 2 days after a pro-Trump caravan surrounded a Joe Biden campaign bus in Texas. The FBI now investigating that incident. Bryn Gingras is out front. And Bryn, tell us more about what you're hearing about all this.
Yeah, Aaron, exactly what you were showing the viewers. Social media videos, pictures circulating around the internet showing just that, cars and trucks. And we know they're Trump supporters because they're all flanked in the Trump 2020 flags, driving down highways in New Jersey and in New York, essentially getting out of their cars at some points and stopping traffic, backing up traffic for several miles, really just downright dangerous. The New Jersey Turnpike Authority says that there were several hundred of these vehicles that actually met up at one point and drove north into the New York area. And then you could see there right there on the Mario Cuomo Bridge, which connects two counties in New York, just north of New York City, people getting out and stopping traffic.
so guys, do you remember, just as like a point of reference, do you remember?
For the first time,
Oh
President
gosh,
Donald
why?
Trump has
Stop.
publicly suggested.
Please, there we go. No, I just let me. Okay, we're good. We're going back. We're going back to the face cam. There we go. Um, let's see. Also, Amaver in chat is my good friend Kevin. If any of you have ever checked out some of my like D&D like live play stuff, Kevin has been in that pretty prominently, and I love Kevin very much. Stoic Hunda, or was the traffic stopped and they got out? Well, they stopped the traffic and then they got out. Yeah. The issue is that, like, do you remember, like, during like Black Lives Matter in like 2016, Republican states were passing, like, trying to pass legislation for how to make it legal to run over protesters? Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember it? I think it might have actually passed in a couple places in the Midwest. Okay, it doesn't look like it was passed anywhere, but a lot of states introduced the bills. So there was some political theater going on. But the issue is, maybe it's a good thing that those laws didn't pass, because those Trump supporters just could have been run over, if the laws that they had supported had actually passed. More ASMR, please. If you're being threatened, should you not take off? Well, I think the issue is most protests don't necessarily threaten someone who has no relation to the protest. Also, I think it's a pretty bad law to say that there are situations in which it would be justified to, like, plow through 5 or 6 people in order to save yourself. I can imagine it. I can imagine it, by the way. Like, but I can imagine it in the same way that I can imagine, like, a Jack Ryan movie, being plausible. I don't think that sort of, like, hyperbolic imagining of fictional situations is something that we should base our legislation on. Um, I don't think we should base our legislation around the premises of, like, Hollywood action movies. Um, there's a difference between someone standing on the road and banging on your window. Yeah, and also, like, I would say that there's probably some difference between I don't know. I don't want to get too far into the weeds here, because, again, I think that this becomes, like, a really thorny mess of hypotheticals that don't happen that often. Um, policy shouldn't be based. Yeah, policy shouldn't be based on GTA gameplay. Exactly. Thank you for putting that so succinctly, Pengy-chan. I appreciate that. Um, and uh, oh gosh. So unless it's capital redistribution, yeah. You know what? Maybe. What do you think will happen in the next days? Well, okay. What I think is most likely to happen, Speedbrain, which, by the way, welcome to the chat. I don't think I recognize your username, so hello. And secondly, I think that what is most likely to happen is a Biden victory. And I say that just because, like, if you look at the 538 polling, like we can look at it real quick here. If we look at it, right, there is like a better chance. There's a better chance of Joe Biden getting over 400 electoral votes, like, than there is of Trump winning. So, like, if you get over 400 electoral votes, like, just to give you guys some context, you have swept the election. You have completely and utterly dominated it. There is, like, more than double the chance that Joe Biden will sweep and dominate this election than Donald Trump just barely holding on. So I think that what is most likely to happen is a Biden victory. I think that Donald Trump's chances of trying to subvert the democratic process, I'm hoping that after all of these years, he has not achieved so much that he will be able to, overcome like a 5-6 million vote like upset. In 2016, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by like 3 million votes. I would imagine that if Joe Biden wins by 6 million, 10 million votes, that could that makes it much harder for them to overturn it, even in the Supreme Court. From what I'm seeing today, they're getting more even. Well, a lot of the polling coming out today shows that they have been continuing their trajectories in their given courses. You know, it's been like, I think we all need to remember as well that in 2016 there was a whole lot of dips and curves throughout the election process, and this election cycle has been very consistent, going in the respective directions. So there are some statistics if you scroll down. I remember a few are probability landslides. Yeah. So yeah. So Trump wins with that. Biden wins with all of this. You know, it depends. Also, Speedbrain. I've been saying this for the last few days. I highly recommend going out and doing your shopping tonight. You know, if you need food or anything, medicine or anything like that, go do that tonight. I would not want to be anywhere out for the next couple days, especially if Trump loses. He has a lot of far-right militiamen out there. He has a lot of fanatical people who literally do not care if hundreds of thousands of people die. And I know that because I've talked to them. So, like, yeah, I would not put it past a lot of these people to have an extremely angry and violent reaction if Trump loses. Likewise, I would also not be surprised if he wins that there would be violent celebrations. So, I would take precautions, everybody. And I don't say that to be like fear-mongering or anything. Like, I try and be pretty level-headed, but I think we need to recognize that this is a very dangerous time in American politics.